Hey guys, RTG here. I'm back with some more Humankind. And Quasimodo would be proud of this structure. Not as it is right now, but we are a few turns away from Notre Dame. We are... we attached this already, right? Yeah, we needed to attach it in order to build Notre Dame. We are still somewhat trying to figure out what we're going to do, but I have an idea. We are going to war. We are going to take over this continent, and you might be looking at your screen like, RTG, what do you mean we're going to take over the continent? I mean, these guys, the Umayyads, I don't plan to eliminate them, but I do plan to take the cities. Same with the Byzantines, and I'm pretty sure the independent peoples also. I am going to own every tile on this continent. After that, they are free to do what they want as long as the continent is ours. For that, we're going to have to build an army. Currently, Hunza poses no threat. And let's see, technically speaking, in like 43 turns, they won't exist anymore. Like, independent peoples, once they settle a city, the city only lasts a certain number of turns, and unless they are assimilated into a empire, they won't, like, everything they build will just kind of disappear. And I'm pretty sure if an independent people fails out or their lifespan expires, you should be able to just settle where their city was and claim it. And I think all the infrastructure should be intact. If not, there should be like just a simple construction to do. Donad, they are aggressive, but they're being influenced by us. We have access to all except these two strategics in our territory. There are a few lingering resources south of us. And yeah, as I say, in order to take over these cities, we need a few things. One, troops, because Memphis has 11 pop. Takal has 13. This city with the mountain scaling carts has 5. So this is a relative easy take. Only annoying thing, we have to go through a card, but we're still allies with the Byzantines, so we're free to move through their cities. We can even heal and upgrade our units while we're there. I'm not sure if stuff like the Nazca lines here, if they stay with... I'm not sure. Well, let's see. What is this? This is I don't remember what kind of tile it is, and I am not seeing it, but I don't think I think this is a unique district. Yeah, this should be a unique district. I don't know if any of the... So like this Duno, I don't know if it's because I think these are qualify as administrative centers. I'm not sure. correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't know for sure if emblematic districts stick around when you take a city. So, like, this administrative center, if this were a city, next to impossible to take. Like, you'd have to attack it from, like, this side pretty much solely. Anyway, so hippodromes, I hope these stick around. They will all be useful. In the meantime, okay, let us think of a more or less route of assault. Tikal would be the hardest city to take. Memphis, arguably significantly easier because they don't have much in terms of walls on their western flank. So if we attack from the west, we should, attacking from the west puts us, for one, next to this independent peoples, which is aggressive, and for two, significantly downhill, which, looking at it, would be very difficult to attack into. So yeah, it may be easier to attack Memphis from the east, meaning we'll probably have to take Tikal before we take Memphis, or at least fight within Tikal's borders first. Not seeing much in the way of approaching. Okay, there is this southern section, which would only allow a few troops in at a time. There's this northern section, which should be useful for these guys are having a couple pathing issues. Anyway, so this should be at least decent for ranged attacks. So Memphis arguably last, actually. Tikal, we could attack it from the west. East. There's a decent amount of high ground, and this northern area is pretty open. They don't really have that many districts defending, and it would be easy to attack from the northeast because that's pretty much where army is coming from anyway. So this city, I don't really think we need to focus on it much until maybe the ending of the war. I want to take cities. So I don't know if we're going to get everything done in one war, because this is quite a few districts to take. So we may have to do it in two parts. Maybe while we're cooling down from this one, we shift our priorities to take in Akkad, which would make subsequent wars down to the south easier. Okay, for that, we would need army. We have boats here, some cogs on the way down. Cogs won't do much. They're boarding vessels, which means they are basically just melee boats. Let's see, Ranger 1. So these are melee boats. These are boats you use to fight other boats, as opposed to, do we have the ability to build any? Nope, just we would need, what is it? Naval artillery. Yep. We would need Carracks in the early modern era to help with a proper naval siege, which is why I think we should focus on getting our home continent first and saving naval stuff when we're trying to invade over here. So yeah, we are going to need troops. Oh, almost forgot about these guys. Oh, still same turn. We're going to need troops. Kerma, should be working on troops in a bit once Notre Dame is done. I guess I'll get Napata on that also, even though there isn't much in terms of industry over here. Let's see. We're gonna need maybe 3 spearmen, 2 archers, and a great swordsman. Pikemen are 31 combat strength, great swordsmen are 35. Our hunters are 31, but they at least don't get penalties from attacking on rivers, which sadly is a lot of the area. Kermo, once you deal with this threat and once Notre Dame is done, gonna have you pushing out units. Not sure exactly what we're gonna need yet, but we are going to need a decent amount, so we're going to need, well, the tactic for the tactic usually for ambushes are, if you're going to surprise an enemy, you need to have at least 3 times their strength. If you're going to pull just an all-out surprise attack, it's best to have 3 times the strength of your opponent. That's just a rule of fighting. Currently, we don't have 3 times their strength in terms of foot soldiers. These guys have great swordsman, archer, chariots. Chariots aren't much of an issue. Yeah, they can't climb fortifications, even though that's not really useful in what we're doing. But they're pretty weak, and we will have a decent number of pikemen. These guys, they have pretty upgraded units. So they have crossbowmen, which are the equivalent to our unique unit. So let's see, these guys are, I think, about 32 combat strength. Ours, this guy is upgraded. So take this guy. This guy has about 32. So we, in terms of ranged units, are equivalent. So we need ranged units to pepper their melee fighters. Pikemen are decent because 2 pikemen can easily beat a chariot. And once we get into melee, crossbowmen won't be much of an issue. Great swordsmen, though, those are an issue because our swordsmen are basically their strength anyway. So we have a similar army composition, but we all can hold the same number of units. So what we need to do is to tech up. That leads me into my second discussion for today. Let me at least advance the turn, so we're not sitting around for one turn in like 10 minutes. Okay, this guy. Okay, you can start pushing across. I guess most of the army has already started moving. You guys, let me get you in this territory and start with a couple upgrades. A quick nani?
If you
Yeah, we allied with these.
good,
Oh,
then I would know you better.
shared logistics.
I have a proposition for you. I think you'll like it. There's just no way to make this.
Ha. Oh, wait, there's our territory right there. That was unnecessary. Anyway, so we're gonna upgrade these guys. You guys are going to attack these guys next turn. We should have a handful of units on the way down. This is going to take a while to finish. The capital, what are you currently doing? So we have we have a couple cities working on Notre Dame. You guys, I would like you to at least support the war effort. So 3 chariots, 2 archers, a pikeman. Sparta. I don't know how much. Okay, you have not a terrible amount of production, so let me get 1 pikeman, 1 chariot, because you don't have much in the way of production and you are severely overcapped. So you probably do need to get some population out of you. You guys are also population capped. So that's 5, 6. Just a bunch of pikemen. Same with Athens, just a bunch of chariots to help at least get to the city faster. Yeah, that was Athens, that was these guys. Sir, you are a capital, but you are also, well, you are a former capital, but you're also city capped. Oh, Sir has walls. Interesting. Let me get you stone walls, just for the lulls. And I'll get... Oh, you still have that on the construction. Okay, can quickly buy that out because you'll see in a bit. 2 of those, 2 of those, 2 of those. Okay, that should be... Oh, I didn't set up anything in Kermo. I'll get a bunch of chariots out in Kermo. I know chariots won't be able to take the cities, but... Well, they won't be able to climb fortifications, but they can help take the cities. Let me move to the next turn, and we can start talking about a more serious war effort. Though, what I may want to do is everybody's kind of overcapped, so I guess it doesn't really matter. In Kerma, let me use our agrarian bonus and take a couple citizens. So that's 6 pop in Kerma. We're going to quickly use off a lot of them, so that is fine. These guys forgave my grievance anyway. That's pretty good. So we're going to build up the army quick. How much is this? We're a couple turns actually away from a merchant star, and we can quickly... Okay, I think maybe not Pata, because you have a world wonder which helps with stability and food and all that. You can quickly absorb that. Boom, expansionist star. Okay, that should be it for the turn. Okay, I think once we get this merchant star, we'll be ready to move on to the next era. That's maybe two turns away. So let's see if we can get something in about that time. And what do you know? We have military architecture. And this is why horses are going to be useful. We have trebuchets. Trebuchets are siege weapons, which means they can all be constructed during a siege of a city, and you have to take a few turns off to to actually... Okay, you can attack the city on one turn, but you can hold a siege. Holding the siege allows you to, 1, build trebuchets or battering rams in earlier eras, and I feel like these may be the only. I think trebuchets may be the last siege weapon that has to be built during. Yeah, I think mortars count as not necessarily siege weapon, but they're heavy weapons. Those are more. Yeah, I think heavy weapons are the evolution of siege weapons. But yeah, I digress. With trebuchets, they're only applicable during the siege on the city. And once they're built, we can't move them. Once we deploy them, we can't move them. So we need to put them in decently strategic locations. And these are what we use to destroy city walls. Trebuchets can't enter cities, even though that doesn't really matter, and they can't retaliate. So they are very vulnerable to enemy units destroying them. We also get forts, which are upgrades to it is, I don't remember what it upgrades from. I think City Watch upgrades into a fort, so you need a City Watch to a fort, to a command compound, and so on. Anyway, and we also get the ability to absorb cities, where we merge several cities into one. So something like Sparta can absorb maybe this city, and then we can use those to help alleviate our city cap, because we're a couple technologies away from being able to get a new one. Oh, okay. From Distant Shores Part 3. Some time ago, foreign sailors brought a wondrous crop to your lands. For years, that crop flourished across your empire, helping to feed citizens. However, a terrible blight has ravaged it near Athens, threatening to spill out and decimate the entire crop. Your most learned minds suspect it is caused by a pest that has finally crossed the oceans itself, finding itself in a virgin land free from its usual predators. The blight could be contained to Athens, although it would be to the city's immense detriment. How do we wish to settle this? We can procreate, allow everyone to work together, put disease on 8 of our cities, which is all of them, so that's minus 20 food for 10 turns, or contain it, which is diseased on Athens for 10 turns at minus 30 food. How much food are you making? Well, you are currently severely overcapped, currently making 0 food, or a small percentage of food. Okay, we're trying to get a bit of your population out anyway. So kind of pains me. Okay, so a few of our cities already aren't making much. Ooh, wow. Okay, so we are currently losing 96 food from being overpopulated, and just a bunch of food from the population anyway. So, well, this is kind of a waste now, because we're less than a turn away from Notre Dame. So we're going to push out units. We're going to lose a couple population in Kerma. That's fine. I think though we shall contain this in Athens, and that is worse than I thought, because Athens was bountiful at the time. Okay, so it's going to quickly lose some food, and granaries do next to nothing because we don't have many farms. Anyway, I digress. That does not really help our situation. Let's see. Armies. You guys upgrade. Upgrade. You guys. Let's try to get rid of these guys before we manual battle. These guys are a bunch of archers, like basic archers, so 17 combat strength. So this should be a relative walk in the park. Should at least. Do you guys have indirect fire? Okay, you should be able to attack without a clear line of sight. Hopefully that means these mountains aren't going to be an issue. Okay. Let's see. Okay, yeah. So this should be a pretty much walk in the park. Why are you trying? I guess going downhill helps, but even attacking these guys straight up on a river is fine. I could auto battle this, but I don't trust the AI. Really and truly. Quickly pepper this guy down. Maybe move you forward. And just attack with the healthy guy. And that should be enough. Okay, bit of experience on everybody. Notre Dame is going to finish. We're gonna build up troops. An army getting into position. We should, keyword, have this next turn, if not the turn immediately after. You can just move there. Another army. You guys, I think, are. Ooh, the city actually gone. The city. Their cities are raising in pop. So let me get my units into at least a safe-ish central position. Let's see. Okay. Finish Notre Dame.
An impressive achievement built at a time when scientific inquiry and growing faith marched hand in hand.
Okay. Okay, we are pretty far away from this estate star. So I don't want to chance it. These guys are medieval, but there are a few error stars behind. What are you guys saying?
Tell me about yourself.
Okay, I'm not seeing what you're arguing.
Where have you been?
See if I can get anything from you. Some gold. Okay, percentage of money percentage increase. Arborist, so that's science. Gemstone, wait, dye. Dye is just straight up industry for everyone. Gemstones are money. Spend money to make money and all that. Salt. We own trade lines. The trade license to that already. Mercury is a percentage of money. Okay, so that was the last one we could have bought anyway. So, but we do need to at least maintain a decent amount of gold influx. Okay, you guys can head around here. You guys, I guess I'll start marching those units over there. How many more are coming out of this city? Okay, this city should be producing a few more units. So I'll hold you guys here and just move you all as a unit. This, I want to finish exploring the continent. Okay, you just hold that position. Let's see. Okay, merchant star done. New people converting to our religion.
Friend,
Okay.
you are a sight for sore eyes.
Okay, so our religion is currently spreading. Okay, it's the state religion. I think it's the state religion of these guys. So they already adopted it, and it's currently spreading through their territory. But I don't think I want to. I don't want to press anything
Oh, it's not.
over
I
here.
can see the bigger picture.
We're cool with these guys for now. So one country, one peoples, one culture on this continent will be our allies in the long run. Let's see. Get units through this turn. You guys. Oh, this where? Yeah, this is pretty much where I moved you. But I want you maybe like a step further south. I am very much tempted to put you on auto explore. Can I get you?
If you seek the greater good,
I want to upgrade you to a cog so I don't have to worry so much about having you. That's not what I wanted to do. I want to upgrade you so I don't have to worry so much about having you move around. But okay, we're going to call it here today. But starting on Wednesday, we are going to make some quick, well, I'm going to try to make some quick progress in getting a standing army up. Oh, let's take a look at what wonders we have available. The only thing left is the Great Mosque, which is a fame multiplier, which is useful, but I rather take it from somebody if they build it. And we aren't. So if this was 20% easier faith conversion, so it's easier for you to convert somebody else's city, that would have been useful. This as it is, not so much. So let's see what is available next era, and for next era we're going to do that next turn. So that is the first thing we're going to do on Wednesday. So thank you all for hanging out. I'll see you on Wednesday, where we move on from the medieval to the, I think it's early modern. I have a culture in mind already. We can, well, I'll quickly just like show these off because I should have done that on Friday. So feel free to pause and get a look at all the available cultures. Feel free to comment what you would like to see, even though it won't be applicable for this playthrough, but maybe next playthrough we'll be able to implement some ideas that people may have. So if you, for example, want to see a military playthrough where I just pick all military civs, or maybe a cultural or a science focused playthrough, let me know. But I do know that Amplitude Studios, the makers of Humankind, are bringing out Humankind's first proper expansion. Like, we've had DLCs, but they're getting the first proper expansion, which will introduce a whole new affinity. It will ramp up a bunch of things in the game. So that is actually fairly close to release. So chances are, when we finish this series, we may do a purely diplomatic run next time. But I've been RTG, you have been you. Tune back in on Wednesday, where we set our empire to be the greatest there is, the greatest there will be, and the greatest there ever was. I'm pretty sure I got that mixed up, but hey, it's going in the outro anyway. I've been RTG, you have been you. Peace, love, and tranquility to all of you.